Hello everyone. So this is the third night that I don't sleep, mainly because of the excitement regarding the scientific advancement, but also because I pray to God. Like seriously, I spend a lot of time praying to God to get me and my daughters out of the Nazi prison. And whenever I recall, I remember stories like the one that I told you, regarding the last salary job that I had and how I was fired. Whenever I remember, I recall this stuff, it just of course make me not particularly more sad, but certainly more humiliated. Humiliation is the main weapon of the Israelis, at least what they've done to me for so many years, and they still do. No matter how much magic, scientific stuff they will see these days. Speaking about right now, they will speak to me like a retarded baby or something like that, or robot. And I can say that this doesn't hurt because you can't completely shut yourself to your surrounding. But I don't want to speak about it because I'm really tired. But I want to give you an update. I'm not going to to do another microscopic video because it's actually making me very tired to prepare them. It's actually making me tired even to use the microscope because the slides are really, I use scraps of slide, but I've already ranted about it, so no need. Just believe me that what I'm going to say now is is actually supported by the microscopic evidence. And if you don't believe me, we'll wait tomorrow or the day after. I will create another video with the same slide. But it's going to make sense anyway. So there is no reason why not to believe me. So what have I done, and were the results? So I've created two cookings, both of them I've showed. I posted a short video half an hour ago, so it's there. So the first cooking was this one. So actually, the large container only contained cold water. The main container, the container where actually the mixture exists, is the small lid, which is upside down, here. So the symbols are it's the same symbology that was used to create the rich rich Niro juice, with sole exception that I've now used bigger symbols with the hope that maybe we will get bigger Niros, and it seems so, but I need much more microscopic work to actually stand firmly behind this claim, because I only use a tiny drop, and there is a ton of foam here, as you see, the colorful foam. So but according to my estimation and first empirical evidence, they actually again recreated the rich Niro juice, and which is probably one of the most important scientific discoveries in the history of humanity. This is not an exaggeration, but on the contrary, I fail to actually appreciate the size of the achievement because I'm so tired, and I'm also kind of feeling lost because I want to escape this Nazi country so much, as you know. So I fail to grasp the importance of the moment. But if it's true, then that actually we have actually finally, after I spent quite a bit on this issue, as you know, but so we have actually find a way to create a rich Niro juice outside my body. And I think that we have, because still again we need more microscopic evidence, but from the two batches that I took two samples from the two batches, and yes, it looks like it's actually, and you've seen one in one video I've actually uploaded. So seems that yes, it's actually that's the thing, that's the holy grail. And yes, it's this is for the foreigners, for the ones that I call Titans, this is really a matter of life and death, because they can use the stuff I mean, for sure to like for medical reasons, amazing medical reasons. But as you know, this is also, I mean, potentially it could be, I mean, in another like timeline of history where I do not hate all Homo sapienses, this could have been a scientific achievement for humanity, which is, I mean, cannot overestimated. I mean, as I say, a new industrial age can be like, I mean, can be started, can be ignited from these little nanobots, and I mean, it's actually already started. I mean, we are already on the train, but it could have been, I mean, much better. I mean, if humanity were, I mean, stood by my side instead of fighting me all my life. And yes, the Israelis are part of humanity, and nobody is doing anything to stop them. Seriously, I mean, if someone didn't understand, let me put it bluntly. Every day that is passing, that this, I mean, that this, forget the starship, forget, I mean, the earthquake, the quakes, the asteroids, the water reservoirs, the radiation. Every day, I mean, that I sit here in this room in my prison and without any support, with no money, and it is another day that could have, like, that this material could have like produced in mass, like even if only by myself, but with a larger facility in mass and distributed. And this is, I mean, you've already seen how amazing they are. So humanity really shoots itself in the head. I feel it's not new, but I feel obliged to say that. The main difference, let's go back to that, between this batch and the other one is that now I used some kind of cooling, which is actually it's beneficial because it didn't get too hot and it didn't like seriously boil. And we need better cooling, but it's still something, like, and it's really easy to implement even when you use electricity, and even if you light candles like on another level of the compartment of the construction, it's still pretty safe and effective. This, I mean, this old school ice bucket. This is as you see, it's under the yellow umbrella because it's I mean, the yellow is you know the color. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's the color of the nanobots of the Niros, because I mean it's actually black or silver is actually their color, black and silver. But yellow is, you know, is the color of when they are like, I mean, in their special mode that I until now I cannot say that I understand. It's still a mystery to me. What actually does it mean? Does it really mean that they're going to clone, or that it's a possibility? Or actually, another theory that is strongly supported by evidence is that there is a strong relation. I've mentioned it briefly, that there is a strong relationship between the existence of biological matter in proximity to the Niros and their, I mean, them entering the yellow pool like state. Like if they dined like on flesh, like of biological flesh, and then they are like glowing yellow. And we've seen it actually in very early videos that they dine on like on microbes, and you actually see it, and they start the yellow pool. But this can be circumstantial. Maybe they are about to clone after they've eaten, and the cloning is the real issue here. So the second batch that I created, partly on parallel, was, I mean, the batch that, I mean, I deal with for so long, and you know what it means, the diamond ring batch. Here I've created new symbols which are much bigger than the ones that I use until now. Like, it's pretty big, with the hope that this will have some effects. And also what's new is that I used in the mixture, I used like a couple of like nice spoons of the of the enriched Niro juice that we created, I mean, in the previous batch. But the results weren't that good. And I'll tell you why. One word: heat. I have not implemented any cooling here, and actually this kind of project it creates, I mean, still, I mean, it requires more evidence, but from like experience and like, I mean, you know, just, I mean, the way that I do it, I mean, and I always occupied with it, so I have like good hunch, like, not perfect, but I mean, I have some kind of hunches, like, I mean, how it's like things are going in the practical sense. It would have made, I mean, the ring like construction that I have, as I said, I have like experience with it because I I try. I mean, I already tried it for many times. Like, I mean, it's always failed. But I mean, we have some kind of advancement. So it's actually it's much more. It generates a lot of heat, more than the creation of the Niros actually. So rings create. So presumably gold and diamond rings. I mean, to be created by the Niros, this create more heat than creating Niros by the Niros, which is, I mean, interesting trivia. It's interesting. So what happened? It just boiled very quickly, and I mean, and when it boiled, just, I mean, what I think that they happen. I mentioned that I think that they just when the liquid start to boil, they just disconnect. I mean, they are smart enough to just, I mean, disconnect from the electric circuit, and then, I mean, it's like it calms down for some time, and then they reconnect again, and then it's getting too hot, and there is steam, and they disconnect. I think that's what happens actually, because there is like a cycle, but it doesn't like reach like like even after like a hour or 2 hours, I don't remember. It doesn't reach like, I mean, the same level of like, I mean, production that you see here and is in the Niro creation construction. And we should also example. I mean, we should also, I mean, mention that I didn't implement any kind of cooling. So, I mean, when I will redo the ring experiment, and probably with even larger amount of the enriched Niro juice that is created in such compartment or in such container, but this will also make more, like, generate more heat. So, I mean, we already have, like, I mean, various, like, you know, plastic boxes and all sort of stuff that could be used. It could be used to prevent heat in even better way than this one. The fact of what happened is, you see that it did like it I mean, it's actually, I mean, they worked. I mean, they did. I mean, we see the foam changed color and consistency, which means that, I mean, they actually did something nice. Mostly it's like, it's a lot of it is still like, I mean, the liquid, which is basically my pee, which means that, I mean, they worked in very limited capacity, and they used very, like, the enriched Niro juice in very limited capacity. But again, we know it. We know why, because of the heat and the fact that they needed to disconnect, either like knowingly, like in their own volition. Then that's my theory, or just, I mean, they disconnected because they died, or they couldn't keep working because of the heat. And so, what you see under the microscope. So, I mean, I've prepared one slide with like 2 drops for each of the balls. It's not enough, but I'm too tired, like, to do like rigorous microscopic research. I can tell you that, I mean, the part with the mixture, like the Niro juice, is, as you expect, you see like a lot of Niros in like small part of the slide. I mean, I mean, there is a very high density of Niros, and much more than like the one that we've seen in the video that I uploaded like a while ago, and much more than I've seen in any other kind of like slide, which is good and as expected. I also think that they are a little bit bigger in average than, I mean, and this was my intention actually, but maybe it's just wishful thinking. And I would say that, I mean, it's really difficult to judge like their sizes, because, I mean, you're always biased for the larger one, because they come in a huge variety of sizes, and I always I rehash this time. I mean, I hope the viewers are not, I mean, feeling that, I mean, I pushed this particular point too hard, but I mean, it's very easy to forget the fact that, I mean, and it's something very amazing. I mean, they come in such large variety of sizes that it's easy just, I mean, to concentrate on the one that you actually see, I mean, using specific like microscope zoom level, but there are so many like in other levels as well. This should be taken into account. Anyway, in the other half, where, I mean, where I put like a drop from the mixer of the rings, so you actually see, I mean, it's different than I mean, you see that this is different mixture and different kind of work. You see all sorts of like peripheral work, like, I mean, the microbes that they like to paint, like, I mean, you know, this like the string-shaped microbes and viruses and things like that. And also you see quite a bit of things that look like, I mean, they start like gems, of course microscopic inside, but it really, I mean, it reminds me of gem, and which I mean, presumably it should like be modeled after one of these gems that are made from aluminum or from just, I painted it like on a plastic. And you can also see like rings that are very similar to this one, like the pear shape, and it's almost, it's no coincidence that they based it on this one. There is another one here that is also like have the pear, the foot that is called pear, the green one. So it's not a coincidence. It's not like a complete like round, but it's pear. And there are also a few, not much, of actual things that look like rings. But first they are not finished, and second it's microscopic. So, but yes, they worked on the rings as expected. I have enough evidence to say that they actually did what I wanted them to do, but they did it in a very limited capacity. Even though they had like big numbers because it was mixed with the new Niro juice, but it's like the fact that they had larger numbers only like makes the heat generation problem worse. So it doesn't really help you if you can't walk because of the heat. So we should go to sleep. I'm about to pass out, but yes, it was very, very the past 3 days. I should also mention that one of the things that I want to do is to use and the various things that I've learned and also practices with regard to magnetism. And you see, I've created all sort of like gadgets, and I want to use it with combined with those two mixtures that I will certainly like redo. The one that creates the enriched Niro juice and the one that creates the rings. But I will use not only electrolysis and fire, which is the one like the energy sources that I use until almost always, but also electromagnetism, building on the things that I've learned, and all sort of like magnets and like coils that I scraped from like trash speakers. And so I wanted to sum up and say that I live in a Nazi country, and please rescue me and my daughters from this hell. And also, I should say that, this was a wild ride of 3 days, that were crazy, but even though I'm feeling like I failed to show excitement because I'm so tired and so, feeling so humiliated by the Israeli scumbags, but, rationally, from like an analytic point of view, and like viewing, like, I can still judge or analyze the events and say that those 3 days we've seen amazing advancement, and of course they culminated in what we see now, which is probably still need to be further proved by just practice, but most possibly we've reached a point that we can create large pots of bowls or pots of mixtures that contain very dense Niro nanobots. And this is it's not an overstatement or hyperbolic to say that it's one of the most amazing scientific advancement that this world has ever seen in its complete history of billions of years.